Okay, hey everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about why virtually every single boat review just about in existence or anything modern is basically almost literally completely fake. Okay, so they obviously very much only focus on the positive aspects of boats, never the genuine negative aspects, and they rarely genuinely compare two boats of any type, brand, etc., together in an honest way. So there's a few reasons why I think this is, and let's go through them one at a time. So the first reason is, people these days, people and brands, but people in general are so fickle. People can't take any sort of negativity in their life or about anything at all. We live in a world now in a time where everything is basically, it has to be good news stories only. And people will even take feedback about their own possessions, like personally. Someone buys a car or a boat or whatever, and if someone says anything bad about that car or that boat, they'll get very, fired up about it. Like they take it personally. I could tell you about the last 5 cars I've bought. Let me rattle them off. Skoda Karoq, Pajero Sport, Jeep Grand Cherokee, Hyundai Santa Fe. I don't know. There's been others. I'm losing my memory, but all new. Ford Ranger. Sorry, every single one of them has had issues. Every single one. Period. Just about every product has issues, and I'd be more than happy to share all of the issues I have with those cars. But the bottom line is, most people are not. Okay. And boat brands in particular, they don't want anything bad said about their product, and I'll give some examples of that shortly and how far they will go to protect their products. And even from what does that mean from an individual point of view? So people like me who are very transparent and just want to give the facts to you guys, they won't let me review their boats without extreme controls in place. And even individuals with boats, I've had them not want me to review their boats because they've seen my other reviews and they basically don't want anything negative said about their boats. So it's really hard to do reviews when people are so fickle. All right, the next thing is the industry is small. Okay, the marine industry is small. It's not like the car industry, okay, where car manufacturers sell cars very much largely just on volume, population, size of the market, type of the vehicle, all that sort of stuff. Boats are not like that. Okay, they're very much a nice to have item. Not everyone can afford a boat, so it's a niche market. The volumes are much, much smaller. So what that means is a few things. Firstly, from an actual boat reviewer point of view, like there's not many websites, etc., that do boat reviews. Therefore, the people that do them, there's not many people that do them. It's hard to get opportunities, and they want to actually stay in work, so they've got to do what they're told. Basically say what they're told to say. Secondly, you've actually got the volume of sales themselves. Okay, so boat manufacturers, many companies don't sell that many boats in a year. So I guess they freak out if anything negative is out there on the internet, etc. They sort of think, wow, we can't afford to lose any sales. So our boat must always look amazing, best of the bunch, best in its class, all that sort of stuff. So, and look, the bottom line is, I hate to say it, but when people that are undertaking, for example, boat reviews, people will basically lie to protect their livelihood. Okay. People will omit things from their reviews or not mention things or even lie if it means keeping their job at whatever website they work for or boat company they work for, whether they're the social media person or they're the boat reviewer or whatever. You have a lot of good people in this industry, and I've met a lot of them personally over the years, and I've had a lot of very enlightening personal conversations in one-on-one type scenarios, but that is absolutely not their public face. Okay, so this industry, I'm not saying everyone is a liar, but what I'm saying is people that are in these opportunities where they have to make money from their brand or from their job or whatever in the marine industry, they will lie if it means protecting their magazine, their whatever. Okay, like all these boat reviews seriously are goddamn very, very fake, and it's all motivated by money. I mean, don't get me wrong, the positive news stories are generally quite accurate, although at times heavily exaggerated. But the negatives are almost completely left out, and it's small industry. You want a job, you want to be a boat reviewer for whatever magazine, it's basically just shut up and do what you're told, you know? And that is probably why will never be any sort of formal official boat reviewer, because people will want to censor me, okay? And it's just not something that I would ever allow, because that's not why I'm doing this, and that's not why I do anything in my life. I do things for ideally the greater good. Obviously, I'm not perfect, no one is, but it's about transparency of information and, and just giving people real kind of facts. All right, the next thing is quality control. Okay, so if you do, someone like me, you do have some discussions with a boat manufacturer and you say, I want to go, happy to go for a ride on your boat and write a review or put it on my channel or put it wherever. And I have gone through many of these discussions. Almost all of them end up breaking down because of the layers of quality control that those manufacturers want to put on the process. Okay, so firstly, just the approval process within the company structure to actually go and do a boat review is absolutely absurd. And then if you do get that approval, everything you do or say will be fully reviewed, quality controlled. You have to redo it to make sure that they are totally happy with it before you can post it anywhere. And this happens to me all the time. And I turn up often to places to review boats and products and things with a pre-agreement in place that it's all good for me to be totally honest, etc. And then I go to the effort, I physically get there, and they're like, got to run it past, got to get approval first for you to do this, or we didn't get approval, so sorry, we can't let you, or we've got to get approval from our social media department and CEO or whatever to post your thing. And it's honestly really hard and really tiring, and I've had some very, very frustrating moments. So even if you try and do the right thing, things will get heavily censored. That's why most of the things that I've shown you guys have either been on my own boats or friends' boats, because it's the only way I can do it. And I've even had friends and acquaintances and things, like I said earlier, just basically they were all keen and then they backed out because they didn't want their boat to be seen as less or whatever. So lots of quality control and filtering. Now look, there are a million reasons why boat reviews are fake. I'm just hitting the main ones, okay? And one that most of you may not realize, and it may shock you the most, is that how ruthless these big boat brands can be. Now, I'll give some specific examples without hopefully getting anyone into trouble here, but I have friends, okay, for example, that have done things like start social media pages on boat brands, do social media posts and things, and in a few particular instances, some negative points were raised, okay, about certain boat brands, including some big boat brands in Australia. So genuine owners and having boats with major structural defects and basically posting their frustration after they didn't get good support from the manufacturers. And then other people have commented and said, we've had a similar experience, etc. And sometimes things have snowballed, but no one being unreasonable, no one lying, exaggerating, nothing. People putting up photos of the things that have happened to their boats in social media feeds. Now, let me tell you, you need to be extremely careful, okay, with what you say about boats, because the marine industry is absolutely ruthless because it is small. There's this constant power struggle between these main brands, okay, and they don't play nicely. They all act like the nice, lovely guys on their channels. They're very helpful and they're all in it for the greater good and all that sort of stuff. But the reality is there's a lot of legal battles going on between these guys, okay, and they will also not hesitate to battle general members of the public if they feel you've done something to damage the image of their brand, etc. So this particular case, after a few social media posts on a page, police turned up. All sorts of false claims were made by that brand and manufacturer. Massive exaggeration of what happened. Police turned up. IT equipment gets seized. Lawsuit. Big, long legal battle. Lots of stress for the people involved. Okay. I don't want to go into detail, and this is not an isolated case, by the way. People reach out to me with this all the time. They even say things like, look, I wanted to comment on one of your videos, etc., but something you've mentioned resonated with me. It happened to me. This is what happened, and this goes on a lot. And this is in Australia, real examples, people I know. Yeah, you need to be very, very careful what you put on social media, what you put on YouTube, what you say about these manufacturers, because some of them are nice and some of them are really, really not nice. And the bottom line is, in general, I would say the after sales service support is really lacking in the marine industry. It's very much a sell and forget type industry. Now, I'm not saying everyone's like that, okay? But a lot of them, once they sell you that boat, that's it. It's just a financial equation. So I know many people that have had flat out refused warranty requests, and when it was clearly a manufacturing defect and things like that, and people that have had all these court battles and everything. It's basically ruined their lives. Okay, and they might have thought they were just starting a YouTube channel like this just to help people out, or having a social media page or whatever. But it's pretty crazy. And a lot of it, I think it comes back to the volume is small, protecting their livelihoods, protecting their brand reputation to not lose sales. Whereas, like I said, the car industry is so massive, any car will sell. Okay, even the worst cars on the road, riddled with problems, will still sell at large volumes. They won't be a massive seller, okay, like a Toyota or Ford or whatever. And those guys, once they get to a certain point, they've got so much market share that it almost doesn't matter how poor their vehicles are, with all these diesel stitch-up scandals and that going on at the moment, but it just doesn't seem to matter because they've got the market share. So things are totally different in the car industry. But yeah, look. So anyway, look, in concluding, I guess I wanted to just make this video to not only open your eyes, but make a little bit more sense for you guys as to why I'm not out there constantly, going on boats and doing product reviews and things like that, because people just people just don't want me to do it. They're scared basically. People are just scared, and in many ways I can understand it. Like you're a small manufacturer, you make 5 boats a year, 10 boats a year, or whatever. You don't want a review out there saying your boat's no good. Like I get it, but then as consumers, it's really hard to get factual, transparent information, and I think it's always really important, at a very minimum, to reach out to people that that owns a particular boat, or friend or someone, or even if it's you reach out to me and ask me if I know about a boat or whatever, and I can give you my honest opinion. I might not get back to you straight away, but um, there's a chance that if I haven't owned one of them, or something similar, I probably will almost certainly know someone that either does or has owned just about every boat, seriously. But anyway, look, hope you guys found that interesting. Don't trust those marine boat reviews out there entirely. I'm not saying they're rubbish, they're totally false, but I'm just saying they're definitely not totally accurate, and there's just a lot of reasons for that, and I've just touched on a couple. All right, see you guys soon.